Alrighty, welcome back to another video. We're gonna try to not have like a Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl moment, and we're gonna make this video short, sweet, and to the point. So we're gonna talk about crash out culture. Okay, crash out culture is this thing of basically wanting somebody to love you so hard, so bad that they'll do whatever for you. They'll kill, steal, rob, and just go crazy because they are insecure and lack emotional stability, because that's what it really is actually. And you also lack the emotional stability. Majority of the time when we're kids, we see love in the most unhealthy ways a lot of us have. And as kids, we're such a sponge and we're so observant to everything, but we don't have the brain power, the development in our brains to be able to actually self-actualize or to understand what's really going on. So we don't have those critical thinking skills. So a lot of the times we are just seeing something and we have to put our own spin and imagination to it. So you grow up in an environment where you weren't seen, validated, or heard, but the moment that you spazzed out and you had your temper tantrum, you got the attention. Yes, in hindsight, you got bad attention because you got a whooping or you got yelled at, but at the end of the day, you got the attention that you wanted. You wanted your parent, your person, whomever, to see you. And now here you are again, wanting your person, your loved one, your significant other to see you. You want somebody to fight for you, right? So you go to this person who's going to crash out, who say, if I can't have you, nobody can have you. And you said, wow, that's love. And you didn't read that as craziness, because that's psycho. But you didn't read that as that because you're not emotionally healed within yourself to understand that you shouldn't want somebody to feel that strong that they can risk their lives in the most unhealthy ways for you. And it's all just a game. Crash out culture is just all just a game. And there's a difference between toxic relationships and relationships that have hardships. We are getting so confused by relationships that have hardships. And a lot of times we see people who go with those relationships who have hardships and then they just give up on it easily. And then we have people who have toxic relationships and stay in the toxic relationships, and that's not like relationship hardships. Relationships that have hardships is just like lifing and you growing and you evolving and you're doing life with another person. So you have to learn them and figure them out, and they're gonna trigger you in all the best and worst ways. But that is something that relationships come with, and not every day is going to be rainbows and butterflies, and you're going to have seasons, and sometimes those seasons are going to last for multiple seasons. But that's what it means when it comes with hardships and relationships. But for a toxic relationship, it's just built on lies and insecurities and all of this other toxic energy, right? And we take that and we put it in crash out culture where, oh yeah, if I get my heart broken because I don't know how to emotionally express that and I don't know how to emotionally deal with these things, I'm just going to crash out because I can't handle it. So we're allowing people who can't handle their emotions drive. Like, we shouldn't be letting them in the front. Like, we shouldn't let them in the front. Let's be in the passenger, okay? Because you actually go in the back seat, because I don't even want you right here because you're too emotionally unstable. You cannot figure it out. And instead of actually saying these things and calling these people out, and not even just calling them out in a negative way, but allowing these people to know that this is not okay. Once again, we're just like, no, that means love. It's a mask of love. And darkness always likes to mask things as love. And I'm going to talk about that, in more videos to come, of the ways that darkness likes to mask love. But one of the biggest things that I said is we get addicted to the thought of somebody loving us so much that they'll do whatever. They'll kill, steal, beat, whatever. All because we never had somebody to protect us, to see us, to value us. So we think that by them doing that, that means that they really love me. And we're all just, once again, these broken little beings, these little kids who just want mommy and daddy to love them. And now we're acting out. You see what happens when you don't get tucked in at night? What happens? You're afraid when you are not allowed to truly be seen. You crash out. You throw a temper tantrum. That's what little kids do when they're not getting their way, when they're not, you can't see me, you're not hearing me, I'm going to spaz, I'm going to yell. And we have a bunch of little kids just spazzing and yelling, and nobody is going to console them. We don't have the parents loving them. And it's not saying that their parents don't love them, but it's saying that when you get into a relationship, that person is supposed to see you. That person is supposed to give you that, especially in a relationship that has that emotional stability. But once again, we don't have that. We don't have the emotional stability. So we're just out here. We're just addicted to the idea of love. And all our ideas of love have been tainted. They're just not even existing at this point. Like that ain't love. So there's a level of satisfaction that comes with someone loving you that bad that they'll fight over you, right? We see that. And sorry if you all didn't see Sinners, but it was that part where the vampire girl, I do not remember her name, I think her real name is Haley, when she was talking to Michael B. Jordan, but the red Michael B. Jordan, she was talking to him, and she was like, when he was like, like basically like, if anybody did something to you, like I'll kill them. And she was like, you would kill for me, but you don't, da. And that was that form of like, you love me. You will kill, you will do all these things for me. That means you love me, like you value me. But what happened to respecting me? What happened to respecting yourself enough that when we're out and about, there would be no need to crash out? You won't put me in positions to crash out. You won't put me in positions to make you crash out. Because you respect me, you respect yourself. So there would be no need for crashing out. But we like that. We want to do this fast. So we going to do whatever we need to do. Yeah, I'm talking to so-and-so. Yeah, so that way you could crash out. Because we think that that's love. We think that that means that we're valued. But that does not mean absolutely anything. Because if you truly valued yourself, and if they truly valued you, they wouldn't put you in situations where crash out was needed. Okay? Nobody would need to crash out. It says, but that's manipulative, controlling, and outright stupid, okay? To have that idea, I know, it's stemmed from childhood, but to have that idea truly that basically somebody can crash out and somebody wants to just go crazy and do all of these things, like, it's like so many things I want to say while I don't want to call a stupid, because I know the deeper meaning. I understand that it's really just the simple fact that you didn't get that love that you needed when you was a kid. And I always want us to go back to that and understand that so deeply, that like you didn't get that love when you was a kid. You didn't get the validation when you were a kid. So you're looking for any means necessary to get it right now. And right now, it is just your mind playing a trick on you. It's just your mind saying that, hey, yeah, crash out, tell me you love me, but like yell at me and like do all of these things. And it's that satisfaction, and it's that ego's way of like, I'm protected. But you really want somebody to come and protect you. You really want somebody that's going to see you, that's going to validate you without the means of, I have to do XYZ, I gotta spaz, I gotta get out of my body for you to understand that this hurts me, or I need this. You should not have to do all of this. We should not have to do all of this to get the attention and the validation. And when we just letting people just crash out because they don't have the emotional stability to sit here and say, what is it that I truly need right now? I actually really need you to talk to me, to communicate with me. Hey, when you did this, that hurt me. But because we can't say that, and because we're just letting our emotions run freely, just free and wild without actually self-actualizing them and sitting with them and trying to figure things out. We are just here, just crashing out. We're back here. We're back at crash out culture, right? We're just crashing out. And for one, it's childish. But once again, we know why it's childish. And it says, but we're expecting adults who are just children in adults' bodies to basically try to heal these things, and that can't happen because they're children in adult bodies. You never healed emotionally. You never healed that childhood wound of emotional stability. You never learned. You never learned how to understand your emotions. So you're crashing out. And we love crash out culture, right? We want more crash out culture. But we never actually gave people good coping mechanisms. So now we're just in a society that's crashing out because they don't know any other coping mechanism to heal it. And that's sad. You know, when I think about that, that's sad. And I'm grateful that I am no longer a crash out. I still have emotions that hurt me, but I'm very self-actualized to understand that I ain't got to spaz out. But I never was a true crash out. I was just like a long paragrapher. But let's work on understanding our emotions to the point that we don't have to crash out, and we can walk away from something that is toxic and is pulling us in a different way, that we can get so deep within ourselves that we can understand that this emotion is triggering me right now. What you did is triggering this emotion out of me. That is a better way to say that. And I need to sit with this. I don't want you to crash out. That does not mean love. Like, let's take that off the table completely. Crashing out does not mean that I love you. Crashing out means that I am not emotionally stable enough to actually say what it is that is the problem, because I don't even realize what the problem actually is. And sometimes you will have to go, you feel me? Sometimes that inner child is just going to go. But you should always be able to go back to yourself and say, was this me, the self-actualized version of myself, the highest version of myself? Or was this the inner child who needed to be heard and seen right now? But we're not going to just accept the fact that people are crashing out and the world is going crazy off of, we think that it's cute. We think that it's cute for somebody to do those types of things. It's not cute. It's not safe. It's this illusion of safety and this illusion of love. It's not really that. So stop crashing out. Like, it's not cute. Like, like, that's the video. Because it ain't cute, okay? But all right, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.